Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Cliff DeSolin, and this is NLC Trans. Tonight I'm here with my usual co-hosts and dear friends, Stacy and Tara. Sorry. And tonight we have a very special guest for you. We have Father Gerard Zabik, who is also an accountant and hopefully going to be our accountant. So we're going to be extra special. Nice to him tonight.
Thank you.
But we have a whole bunch of, obviously, questions that we can poke you with.
Poke away.
And a bunch of other things that I know we wanted to talk a little bit about, sort of the leftovers from last week's show, which got pretty crazy. And I'm sure those of you that saw last show know we had a pretty heated discussion here.
They finally got the blood out of the carpet.
Yeah, we had Father Russ on, and we were talking about the Pope, of course, and that was a quite a discussion. But I know there was more that we wanted to talk about with that, and so we probably will do a little discussion on that also. But Father, I wanted to ask you now. You are, of course, a priest,
Yeah.
As well as being an accountant, which is a very interesting thing in itself. Maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, there's not that much to say about myself. I just live as ordinary people do. Struggle. I don't have a parish. I don't have a specific diocese I belong to. I have my bishops out in Phoenix, Arizona way. So I'm over here as like a hermit priest. Working with Father Russ, doing different things, for the homeless, for the indigent, for, the different corporal works of mercy, as they would say. And I keep myself, my bread on the plate by working as an accountant / bookkeeper. It keeps me out of trouble, because... let's face it, you need money to exist in this world. Love can only go so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's usually the devil in the details is the money.
Right. Survival.
Survival.
Sure.
And everybody's trying to survive, especially nowadays in this economy.
Oh yeah, God, yes. It's a scary economy.
Oh, it's horrible. It's very dangerous. You could expect civil unrest because of it. Because there's so many people not working, and their benefits will dry up after 6 to 8 months. And what happens after that? They only need money to come in. They have to pay the mortgage. They have to pay the rent. They have to pay the heating bills. They have to pay this. Have to pay that.
And our health care is tied to your job.
Yeah.
You lose your job, you lose your health care.
Health care.
Right, which is very scary. That is very scary. Sure, as in your field, obviously, I hadn't thought of this, but you must be seeing a lot of the evidence of the downturn.
I started seeing the downturn a few years ago. When things were, everyone was telling Washington that there is a downturn. And Washington was saying, oh, no, everything's fine.
Look, we've had quarters of growth.
Yeah, who was making the money? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a very few people making the money. And most of America was going down the toilet in a flush.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's why I salute you girls. Despite everything, you trudge on.
We try. We try.
And you do a good job, too.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
You do.
So you're going to be our accountant, right?
Yeah.
And I am going to have to obviously talk to you. We have to set up a bookkeeping system and all that. I'm going to talk about it. But anyway, that's for another time. I'm not sure, I don't want to step over any boundaries here or anything. Can I talk, obviously, about your situation?
Yeah, you could talk about my situation.
Okay. Because I wanted to kind of get your feelings as a priest on us, and obviously I consider myself very blessed, and I think this group we've done very well and been very lucky. But the church typically, not everybody in the church, because obviously we have come across a whole bunch of people that have been within the religious community.
Excluding individuals from the greater entity of the church.
Right, but I mean, we've been very lucky, but the truth is that the church, in the big picture, has sort of excluded us and considered us abominations, and I kind of wanted to get your feel on that, and you are sort of a member of the community, not our community, but the broader LGBT community. Which is very interesting.
I've been with my significant other for 25 years plus.
Which is wonderful.
Which is knock on wood, wherever it is. It's been a struggle, and I've been considered an abomination because I refuse to, put my lover away or live like, I'm single. It's been a struggle at times, but we march on. Our families, both of our families, are very supportive. I just came from dinner with my in-laws, and my mother was there. Every Tuesday night, that's in-law night, and my mother. We all get together for Tuesday meal, which is nice. And it's easy to, how can I say, get insulated if you have a loving, supportive network.
Right.
And not realize what is really going on.
Broader world.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you live like in a ghetto. Because I remember years ago, I had a Jesuit spiritual director, and he told me, he says, listen, Gerard, he says, don't get yourself involved in the gay ghetto. He says, because you'll insulate yourself from real life.
Right.
Wow.
And I was like, I couldn't get him back then, but now I can see how, you can live a very insular life and not feel what's going on with other people.
Right.
Because I have a habit of running across people. I ran across a few transgender people in the past few years that were struggling horribly.
Yes.
Horribly. It was like their family just threw them to the wolves. Their jobs threw them to the wolves when they started going through the change. It was just horrible.
Absolutely.
And it's like I was able to be there for them, to just be, because you're taught in pastoral training, no matter